Formagi YouTube video k lia oper jo tum ny story lik kdhs k oper tai men strong hook lik k do. Hook jandar. Suspenseful our curiosity si barpor hona chaye k mary vauer engage ho jn our video ko ntk deken crimson horizon. The sun sank slowly. The sky turned the color of blood. A cold wind swept through the trees. Leaves shivered as if alive. I walked alone along the dirt path. The crunch under my feet echoed in the silence. My heart pounded as if it would burst from my chest. I stopped. The scent of wet earth and leaves filled my nose. My body felt icy. Something moved in the bushes. I strained to listen. Heavy breathing came from nearby. The last light of the day reflected off the face of a stranger. The figure stood silently. His eyes were empty. His hand moved slowly. I swallowed hard. My breath caught. Everything around me seemed to stop spinning. I stepped back. The ground gave slightly beneath my feet. A sound came from behind me. My heart nearly froze. The figure remained still. His eyes reflected the fading sunlight. I realized he was not looking at me normally. I froze in place, unable to move. The air grew heavier around me. Each breath felt thick and hard to pull in. The stranger did not blink. He just watched. I could hear my own heartbeat pounding in my ears, louder than the wind, louder than the rustling leaves. A sudden chill ran down my spine. The sun dipped further, leaving only a thin line of crimson on the horizon. Shadows stretched unnaturally long across the dirt path. I realized the forest was no longer silent. A faint whisper moved through the trees, like voices speaking just beyond my comprehension. I wanted to run. My legs felt frozen. The ground beneath me seemed to pulse with every heartbeat. Something in the air pressed against my skin, heavy and oppressive. I could smell iron, like blood, mixing with the damp earth. The stranger took a step forward. The ground did not make a sound beneath his feet. My chest tightened. I could not think. Everything around me seemed to vibrate with an invisible tension. Leaves shook though no wind blew. Shadows flickered across the ground, dancing in ways that made no sense. Then, I noticed his eyes again. They were not normal eyes. They reflected the crimson light of the horizon, but not like a reflection. It was deeper, darker. They seemed to pull at me, at something inside me I did not want to acknowledge. A sudden sound made me jump. Branches snapping, but too slow, deliberate, echoing as though someone, or something, was moving closer. I turned my head slightly. The forest seemed endless, yet I could sense movement from all directions. I was surrounded. The stranger raised his hand. Not to wave, not to beckon. It was a motion both unnatural and precise. Something about it made my skin crawl. My mind screamed at me to flee, but my feet refused to obey. A shadow detached itself from the darkness between the trees. It moved without sound, flowing across the ground. The stranger's eyes followed it perfectly, unblinking. I could feel it watching me, stretching closer and closer. My stomach twisted. My pulse raced faster than it had ever done. Then I heard a voice. Low, hissing, almost carried by the wind. It spoke my name, not in a normal voice. It resonated inside my skull. Echoing, repeating. It was my own voice, yet not mine. I tried to scream. Nothing came out. My throat felt tight, constricted. The shadow was closer now. I could see its shape more clearly, distorted, twisting like smoke, yet solid enough to cast a dark, rippling shadow across the ground. The stranger stepped closer. His reflection in the shadow's surface was wrong. His movements were delayed, jerky, almost like they were mimicking something else. I stumbled back. My foot hit a root, and I almost fell. But the shadow reached out before I could regain balance. It touched me, cold, icy, like fingers of liquid darkness. Pain shot through my body, sharp and electric. I gasped finally, and the sound came out, but it was swallowed instantly by the forest. My vision blurred. Everything turned red, the sky, the trees, even the shadow itself. I tried to blink it away, but the crimson horizon grew brighter. It filled my eyes, burned them, yet I could not look away. The stranger spoke. Not words, not sentences, but sounds, sounds that vibrated directly into my mind. Images flashed. Faces I had never seen, screaming silently. Endless forests, endless darkness. And always, always, the crimson sky. The shadow multiplied. From every tree, from every crack in the ground, more of it rose. It twisted, coiled, and reached for me. I could feel it seeping into my